We are a Bombay-based practice. We do architecture, interior design, master planning, a practice that was founded in 1990 by Shimul, who a lot of people over here would know very well. And about 4 years ago, we became a partnership firm. So Sarika, Vaishali, and myself, along with Shimul, we lead this practice now. And I feel when this topic of synergy came in, I think there are so many ways of interpreting it. And I feel apart from, our work sort of showing the way we work collaboratively with everybody, I think the same sort of applies within the organization as well. The four of us work with each other across projects, and I think that's just been something exceptional and something that I'm very proud of. We also work hybrid, so COVID taught us to work remotely and work very efficiently, and we continued that into our post-COVID avatar. We designed for a rapidly urbanizing India, crafting from the study of climate, culture, history, and technology, wherein each project is unique to its place and purpose. There are two projects I want to show today, speaking around the idea of storytelling in design. Often turn to certain principles that help guide this process, and some of them are, we turn to cultural histories often, because fortunately the places where we have built so far have been phenomenal and rich in terms of its culture. Craft often finds its place, whether it is in the roof tiles of Bodh Gaya or the way we are bringing in the local crafts in our Hampi project. There's nothing that can happen on any of this without working collaboratively across all mediums, and I think that's such an important aspect. This project has been 14 years in the making, and the end of this month is when this museum gets inaugurated. It's in Gujarat, Ahmedabad. This is a Jain museum for a private trust. Jainism is one of the oldest religions, about 2,500 years old, and it's the 6th largest religion in the country. Our site is in Ahmedabad, actually Gandhinagar, not too far away from the airport. This is a site that is owned by a private trust. So across, on either ends of this land parcel, the existing sort of functions that happen is there's a dining facility, there's a residence. This is largely for the Jain pilgrims. And on the other end, there is a dirasar, a small library, and another sort of living a stay for sadhus and sadhvis. And in between that was our 2-acre of plot. And when the clients came to us, they had identified the site, but not identified the fact that there's a lot of movement that happens between the dharamshala and the dirasar. So instead of skirting the building, we looked at raising the building so that there could be movement across these two functions. The site was dotted with beautiful trees, mango, neem, and a lot of local vegetation. And that's the axis that I was talking about earlier, which we wanted to retain. So here is where, the cultural histories start informing the way we shape this building. We looked at Ranakpur temple and its layout and superimposed it with the concentric mandalas. And the symmetrical and the layered plan sort of accommodated the existing trees, creating smaller courtyards, often shifting the axis to make sure that the functional aspect of the building was always considered. This was a public building, is a public building after all. That's a quick build-up of the different layers. In sort of raising the building, The main sort of gallery spaces move onto the first and second floor, wherein the ground and the mezzanine is where all the other services happen. The function was set in, the entire flow of the museum was in place, and the idea of what will this building look like, the way it sits, what it signifies. I think the fact that we wanted this to be just a simple white building was very clear, but what are the kind of materials, how does symbology come in, how does the entire building sit very lightly within the trees was pretty crucial. And we turned to a mix of marble, of course, symbolizing purity, tranquility, along with the other sort of symbolic features of from the tenets of Jainism. Ashtamangal, which is the 8 sort of aspects formed, became a part of the structure. We brought it in through carving it within the plaster, through carving it in the marble at the entrance. And then these are some of the overall visuals of the project. It's the ramp that takes you to the first gallery. As the building lifts up, it not just creates a pathway between the Dharamshala and the Derasar, but also a really open courtyard with a water body that allows not just the visitors of the museum, but even people that are passing through the structure to take a moment. And a complete contrast from the building is the exhibition design. Within a black box, we have a series of 7 galleries that flow across the 2 floors. And the idea here was to take the visitor through not just an introduction to Jainism, but also how the practice came into being. And that happens through 7 galleries. This is the first floor where we have 4 galleries, and you have a circumambulatory sort of movement starting back from gallery 5, 6, and the last gallery that takes you again down to where you started. The entire exhibition design was a slow narration, but through an expansive collection that this trust had, dating from the 2nd century. And a major consideration across was to ensure that we adhere to the international museum standards as defined by ICOMOS, in focus especially ensuring that the humidity and temperature control was maintained. There are certain areas within the gallery where again we turned to the period from which the narration happened. So here in gallery 4, we drew a lot from the temple of Girnar and its jalis, and that became an enclosure for a EV setting. One of the key sort of objects that the gallery has is an Akbar Farman, which is the original decree issued by Akbar, influenced by Heer Suri, which banned animal slaughter during the period of Pajushn. And I mean, an unheard thing for a Mughal emperor to ban killing, and this was seen largely in Gujarat and Lahore as a part of his policy towards religious tolerance. And the museum has the original decree displayed, and this gallery took a lot of its features and proportions and forms from Fatehpur Sikri. We expanded the decree to form a larger sort of backdrop, and that's the gallery. These are small sort of glimpses. Like I said, the project is well in its way to completion. These are some of the glimpses from other galleries. That's Mahavir. This is an extension of Mahavir Gallery. Like I said, 14 years in the making. I was, I think, well into my 20s when I started this project. The next project that I want to show very quickly is just a quick glimpse into the hotel that we are designing in Hampi. And instead of getting into the project, I just want to show a small video wherein we are working very closely with the local craft clusters to develop products, not just, you know, as art and craft for the hotel, but something that becomes an integral part. And it's really been an absolute joy of my life to be working on this project. Hampi, as most of you all would know, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here, I think our hope has been to bridge the past and the present seamlessly, yet create a beautiful hotel for our clients. That's a little visual of the entrance.